Bless you. Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number 23CCCR 0238. Second case is cause number 23CCCR 0239. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Xavier Deschamps Joseph. Mr. Joseph, is that your full name? Mr. Joseph, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Joseph, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Joseph, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Joseph? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, does he have a affidavit of injury so far? Now, Mr. Joseph. Yeah. Now, Mr. Joseph, you have a right to have a record taken of this case. A record means that you have a court reporter here. She can dictate everything that's being said, or you have a right to waive, which means to give up your right to have a record. Do you want a record, or do you waive or give up your record? You waiving it? Okay. Now, Mr. Joseph, did I swear you in already?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Joseph, I have before me a document in cause number 23CCCR 0238. The document is titled Information. In this information, it alleges that you, Xavier Deschamps Joseph, on or about November 27 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activity. Mr. Joseph, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? No contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Joseph, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, which is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Joseph, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, XJ, on a line that's next to a box that's checked no contendory, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
I have another set of initials below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment. And these initials are on a line next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Mr. Joseph, would you place your initials on this one?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Joseph, there is a signature. Is that your the signature above the line that's titled defendant? Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of the same document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? Now, Mr. Joseph, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? I also have some documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And on the next line, there are a set of initials that's next to a statement that states, I waive my right to an attorney. Yeah, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself. Did you place your initials on this line? I have another document before me that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purpose of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, before you signed and initial these documents, did you read these documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Now, Mr. Joseph, are you a citizen of the United States? Are you a citizen of the United States? I'm just asking you a question, yes or no? Yes, okay. Now, Mr. State, I have before me State's Exhibits 1 and State's Exhibit number 2. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Joseph, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1 to be used as evidence against you in this case. State's Exhibit number 1 is the first document that you acknowledge. Same document that have your initials, 2 locations on page 2, and your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in this case. Now, the state is also offering State's Exhibit number 2. State's Exhibit number 2 is what we call a probable cause affidavit. It's the police report. The state would like to use these 2 documents as evidence in your case. Is it all right for the state to use these 2 documents as evidence in your case? Okay, no objections. State's Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Now, Mr. Joseph, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Okay. Mr. Joseph, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest, the state's agreed to recommend 10 days in the Jefferson County jail at court costs. But it has scope for 2 days. Also to forfeit the weapon as part of that deal, on which the judge went over that, I believe. And we're dismissing the companion case, CCCR 0239.
What's the court cost in this case?
And he doesn't have it.
Okay. What's the court cost?
Also, Judge, we'll make sure the president will report on September 1st, which is Friday before 6 p.m.
September what?
First,
First.
that's this coming Friday before 6 p.m.
September 1st, 2023.
Fill that one.
We trying to find out what you, we trying Court is back in session. The court is in session with its trial docket. Okay. First two cases are cause numbers cause number M326433 and cause number M329101. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Matthew Giblin. Mr. Giblin, would you please come forward with your attorney, Mr. Glenn Crocker? Okay. Mr. Crocker, on yesterday, both the state and you announced ready on these two cases. First case is cause number M326433. That's the criminal mischief. And the second case is cause number M329101, the driving while intoxicated second.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, that's on the state's filing a motion of continuance. This was a case that the state came down on yesterday, mentioned to the court that they had. Well, I'll let you, have you received a copy of this motion for continuance?
We have your.
Okay, and now the other case, this is the second case.
The DWI.
The DWI is the second case. The first case is the criminal mischief. Okay. So actually, you number one on the docket on this case.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? And the state is ready?
We have, I tendered an offer to the defense, and I believe you didn't let the judge know if you accepted it or rejected.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that those firm offer. We're gonna pay restitution, Your Honor, and dismissal.
Okay, so y'all accepting the offer on the first case?
We are.
Okay, now on the second case, the state has a motion for continuance.
We're ready to go.
Okay,
We're ready as well, but we needed a continuance based on the fact that we have a witness that's vital to our case, and we don't have that witness available. So we're asking, we just found that out yesterday, and we filed the motion as soon as we found out.
yeah, but look at this file. This is all. Oh, this case was transferred over here? I'm saying, I'm looking at a transfer, order to transfer case, hold on. Yeah, this case was transferred from County Court at Law number 3, is that correct?
It's been so long, I wouldn't know, Your Honor.
I'm just looking in the file. There was a couple of resets over there. Yeah, it was Judge Wood's case. And he transferred it over here, May of 22.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just looking at the file. He reset the case 1, 2, 3, 4. He reset it 4 times. Then he transferred it over here. Proposed order. What was it was transferred over here, must it proposed order? What's the proposed order? The motion that, hold on, that was a motion for continuance. What was that motion for continuance from? Oh, proposed order. It must have been from that was your motion for continuance. You filed the continuance in July of 2022. Is that correct, Mr. Crocker? That's what it looks like.
You're very well ahead of you, sir. Looking back.
Filed a motion to suppress in May of this year. Application or motion, what's that? Oh, that's for the jury, that's for the defendant election punishment. Let me see, it's on the next page. Nation. I don't see any, I don't. No, we had to have a reset. I don't see a reset from here, all of the resets. All of the resets seem like it was from Judge Wood's court. Yeah, like it was. I see what a witnesses was subpoenaed back in June. When was the court date on this one? That was for, we had a June setting. June. I see a June setting. Hold on a minute. Subpoena office, June. Let me see. August, this must be this one. Like it was only set, was it only set for trial once before? Is that correct? That's that's the only thing I see.
Got an August 1st, 22 trial setting.
That was in this court?
County Court Law number 2, yes, Your Honor.
I'm looking at the file. August, you said August 1st?
Yes, sir. And it's filed 5/24/22.
5/24. Oh, wait up. I see 5/24/21. 5/24/22 is an order. That's when it was transferred. That's when it was transferred from Judge Wood's court. I'm trying to figure out how many times was this case set in.
I understand, Judge, but Well, I think, if I may, just stop. 2904, whether it's continuous or not, the state's got a first motion for a material witness. And that's what, there isn't another witness motion. It may have been
Oh,
reset. but
I'm
that-
looking at the file to see what was in the file.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If there's not, this is the first motion, we have that right for a material witness. This qualifies. We don't have a reset when doesn't take the place of a motion.
I'm not saying that. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
I understand, Judge.
I'm saying I'm looking at the court's file to see everything that's in the, I'm looking at, giving it like, I guess, a paper trail to see how many continuances was filed, who filed the continuance, when continuance was filed. That's why I'm looking in the court's file. This case was apparently transferred from County Court at Law number 3, and I think he might have, the defense filed the motion for continuance back in 22. The problem that I have is that was in July 22. Basically, it doesn't see anything else until May of 2023.
And that's fine. I think what we were saying is that this was our first motion.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to verify that.
Yes,
Okay.
that's all we're saying.
I'm just trying to verify. Yeah. I guess when it was transferred, it took a couple of months for it to be transferred over here. Because I see July, then it goes to the next thing I see is in
Okay.
November of 2022.
Okay.
And then from November 2022, it skips to May of 2023. So I was just trying to figure out if anybody else filed any continuances or what. Let me see. Hold on.
I filed a continuance on the 25th day of July 2022 because I had a jury trial in the 279.
Okay, but that's when you were that's when this case was next door, right?
No, sir, it was in County Court of Law number 2.
In 2022?
According to my heading on this.
I know you. Mr. Crocker,
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at I've looked in the court's file. I didn't see any other motions for continuance that was filed by the state in this case.
I'm not aware of any. I think we've been slowly climbing up the trial docket, so.
Right. But I'm looking at Article 29.04 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure that basically states it shall be sufficient upon first motion by the state for continuance if the same be for the want of a witness to the state. Okay, the name of the witness and his residence, if known, or that his residence is unknown, the diligence which has been used to procure the attendance, and it shall not be considered sufficient diligence to have cause to be issued or to have applied for a subpoena in cases where the law authorized attachment to issue, and that the testimony of the defendant is believed by the applicant to be material for the state. So
Your Honor, the state did check before to make sure that the clerk's record that there was no, this is the first continuance from the state.
okay.
So we wouldn't want to put it on there, but I didn't check.
Okay, yeah, we looking at the record,
Yes.
at least the court's file, doesn't it? It does say the state's motion. Seems like the motion meets the requirements of Article 29.04.
Yes.
And based on that, and then what it says shall be sufficient. It's not a discretionary matter on part of the court. Okay, so the court is going to grant this continuance. Okay, now we can give you and that's just for this here case. Now we can give you a special setting for the next trial so that you'll be the number one case.
If we can do that, we'd like that.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay,
I don't know. I'm gonna say it, we'll get it out.
okay.
You know, later.
Y'all can, yeah. If y'all want to agree on a date, if that's sufficient, or
We're here every day, glad, but
We're gonna look in for
October,
Okay.
because we're about to start September, it's gonna be issues. I mean, we'll do it October first, whatever the first week. Yeah, with the first week in October.
That's the second to six.
Mr. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 0238. Case of style of state of Texas versus Xavier Deshawn Joseph. Mr. Joseph was previously sworn in. Mr. Joseph entered a plea of no contest to the charge of the Class A misdemeanor charge of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activity. Mr. Joseph acknowledged that his signatures and initials was on State's Exhibit number 1. He also acknowledged that his signature was on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Mr. Joseph also acknowledged that he was not incompetent to stand trial. He did not object to State's Exhibits number 1 and 2 being admitted. And the court accepted his plea of no contest. The court found that he was mentally competent to stand trial. The court also found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And the court also found that his plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. In this case, the state offered Mr. Joseph served 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail with 2 days credit, plus court costs. His jail time was to begin on or about, or to begin on September 1st of 2023 at or before 6 p.m. And Mr. Joseph will be forfeiting the weapon in that case. And the state was dismissing cause number 23 CCCR 0239. Now, I have, and the court cost in this case, what is the court cost? $349. Now,
Also, I said it's September 1st.
yes,
21st, right?
September 1st of 23
First, 2023.
September 1st.
That's Friday, this coming Friday.
What they said September 21st.
Oh.
Oh, I did? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Okay. Yeah, September 1st of 2023.
Make sure.
Okay. And now that court cost was $349, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Joseph, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 2 days that you've already served. Now, the remaining of the time, you would have to serve that time in the Jefferson County Jail starting on September 1st, 2023 at or before 6 p.m. The court cost in this case is $349. Will you be able to pay the $349 court cost? Okay. Oh, this is it. Okay. Now, Mr. Joseph, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You recognize this document? And you get him to sign. He didn't sign it right there.
You're swearing that everything in there is true to the best of your knowledge.
Okay, now, Mr. Joseph, is this your signature on the document that is titled defendant signature? Now, Mr. Joseph, before you signed this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
It is. Now, Mr. Joseph, based on your answers, the court is going to find that you're indigent, and because of the finding of indigency, the court cost in this case of $349 will be waived, which means you won't have to pay it because you're indigent, and so the court is going to waive it pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Okay. Now, I also have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And you want the court to grant this motion? Okay, so the court is going to forfeit the weapon in cause number 23 CCCR 0238 to the Beaumont Police Department. Now, Mr. Joseph, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Joseph, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. And Mr. Joseph, I'm also dismissing cause number 23 CCCR 0239. Now, Mr. Joseph, you can stand in front of, right here, in front of the clerk and follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, she's going to give you the paperwork and you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. This is, yeah. Write some of these dates down, forget.
No.
100. You talking about? Oh, that's different. That's different, yeah. On who? Hold on, let's see. We have, so you have NEP. NEP is gonna be a plea? Okay, a plea and a dismissal, okay. And then on, Leon, a plea and a dismissal on Leon? Okay, let me see, that's 2 and 3. Now, what about Nutter? You ready on Nutter? State?
State's ready.
Ready? Okay, because like Nutter's gonna be the one. And if Nutter doesn't go, we have Williams.
That's Tyler Ball's case.
Oh, where's Todd LeBlanc?
He's in Coops, does it, but we had a deal with the order that he pays restitution to take care of that.
So that's gonna be a dismissal
It is.
for restitution?
Once we get, then we get, that it got to our office, then we're dismissing the case.
Okay, so that's Mr.
Wait,
Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams? Did we gonna give him a reset date? How much, Mr. Williams wants to come on? Now, Mr. Williams, how much time do you need to pay the restitution?
Oh, I'm prepared to take it every day. I just don't have the money on it, but I got.
Oh, you can pay it today?
I mean,
Okay,
just to get it over with, if that's gonna make.
okay, yeah, I mean, would you talk to the prosecutor? They can tell you what you need and where to go pay. You don't have to pay it upstairs to the DA's office, but you can go. Does he need a money order or something?
Yeah, we need the money.
But it has to be filled out?
It does with the individual's name, the restitution.
Okay, could you give him that information? She's gonna give you that information. You can go get the money order, come back, go to the DA's office, fill it out, and then you're gonna bring the receipt down here. Okay, and then the case will be dismissed. Okay, all right. Now, Mr. Let's see. Now, Mr. Kimler, and then so you have Hannah Smith. Smith is gonna be after Nutter, right?
It is, yeah.
And State is ready too?
We are, we're gonna send them all. So- What's your name?
Oh, she has 2 cases. And the last case would be Terrence Carl Mann. Is that correct? You ready on that one too? So that'll be the number 3 case. I think he was on the arraignment. What his case was on the. If Bauer wasn't on the trial docket, I think he just like on an announcement docket. So you're gonna reset it for trial? Mr. Bauer? Yeah, she's gonna reset your case for trial. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. So, Mr. Cole, have you talked to your,
I talked to Ms. Porter, and we're gonna probably need 3 weeks.
Ms. Porter?
don't have anything. Our whole deal was just to make sure I can get a letter. I don't have an issue with.
For who? You talking about Ibarra? Okay, okay, right, right. You're just gonna put it on the trial docket. His felony got dismissed. Yeah, yeah, you can do that. Oh, Kobe, he
Yes.
used to talk. Here's two cases. What's on the trial docket? We have Travis Haynes and yeah, yeah.
Do you want this scenario, you know, it's back tomorrow at 1:30?
We're picking a jury. Yeah,
Okay.
the jury's out there right now.
It's kind of late, I was wondering.
It's just 2:30, yeah. We'll have a jury picked by 4
And they come back tomorrow at 1:30.
for testimony.
This another trial, can I release the other two?
Now, not till we start, once we know we got everything set up to pick the jury. Yeah. Is this cause number 23 CCCR 0929 case of style of state of Texas versus Travis Lionel Haynes? Mr. Haynes, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Haynes?
Fine, good.
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Haynes, you're representing your case by your attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Great job.
That's good. That state is represented in this case by attorney Tracy Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Eric reporter.
Oh, where did I get Tracy from?
It's okay.
You know what? I know. I'm gonna tell you where I got it from
Okay.
later.
Um,
Yes, Eric Porter. Now, Ms. Porter, in this case, what's the state's announcement?
Your Honor, due to the fact that the state was unaware that these two individuals, in this particular case, this case was going to be placed on docket, we were unable to notify our witnesses. We haven't issued subpoenas, so we're not ready to move forward at
Okay,
this moment.
now, Mr. Cole, Mr. Haynes, now, this is just a 2023 case. It just came, I see the offense occurred April of 2023. And this is the first, I guess, trial setting.
Yes, sir.
We can give you an opportunity if you desire reset to set this on the trials, set it on a date that we can get this case disposed of, because actually Mr. Haynes is in custody.
Yes, and I think it's the only thing that's on
Right.
as soon as possible.
Okay. Let's see, we're gonna give you a quick trial date so that we can get this case disposed of. Give us a date. We got anything? It's September. Who is it? Okay. We could put him on the same date with that one. What's that?
That's only a week for like.
Oh, yeah, everybody's.
Oh, it's the 12th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need
What's the
2 weeks or.
okay,
And we'll send them out today, but.
okay. What's the next date you have? excuse me, your attorney's gonna get you reset, and he'll give you a reset date. Okay, so just follow the bailiff. You're welcome. All right. Louing, we want to set both of those on the same day. Do we have the same situation with Louing?
Yes, it is, y'all. It's the same situation. What day is it? October the what?
I think she said 16th.
Okay.
That's a Monday.
I think his might, the first
one that Monday, but she is about to start.
Right. We have any cases set? Any other cases? Okay, so on the 17th, we're gonna set. Okay, this is cause numbers 23 CCCR 0384. He needs to talk to you?
Yeah.
I mean, if he needs to talk to you about something pertaining to these cases,
Yes, if I just for a second.
okay, won't you, yeah, we will let y'all go in the back and talk. Yes. Okay, court is back in session and calls numbers 23 CCCR 0384 and calls number 23 CCCR 0387. Both cases of South State of Texas versus Brandon Michael Lewing. Mr. Lewing, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Lewing?
Um,
That's good. Now, Mr. Lewin, we have you here today. It's my understanding from talking to your attorney and the state, we're going to give you a trial setting. Let's set these cases for trial,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay? And we're gonna set them on the same date of the other trial. Okay,
After talking to my
Well-
client, Your Honor, I'm gonna reach out to Ms. Porter. I think there might be some things that we can work out before that day.
okay, that's fine. We'll just tentatively have it on that day.
Yeah.
If you can do something before that date, we'll have you to come back in and before that date.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? All right, so follow the bailiff. You have a blessed day.